what we have from the Immortals side. They're coming off a devastating defeat in the finals of last week. Coming into this one with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. However, I think a big nomenclature that we have to keep our hands on is the fact that they're out for blood.
Yeah, they are, and they need to adapt to the current meta. I mean, the meta has shifted. Assassin-heavy comps has worked for them. However, ALG found a nice and solid counter to it. So they need to kind of pull out some trump cards to work against what has been brought against, because they set the meta with Cricknack. Then everyone played Cricknack, and all of a sudden Alice came out with Kilgroth, which counters the Cricknack. So they gotta change things up, otherwise they're gonna lose. So let's see what One Trick's gonna pull up, because there's a lot of VODs on both these teams. They study each other.
Lots of opportunity to get in some tape, get in some recognition of what both of these teams are gonna want to do. We see ourselves with a Max ban, we see ourselves with a Superman ban. Do either one of these teams risk letting Zenio through the ban phase?
Yeah, I don't think they will. They have to ban Zenio here, definitely on the side of One Trick. Zenio is going to be a key pick for the side of A side if it's open. So let's see if they're going to take away that Zenio. Violet's also a top priority pick as well. Liliana, there's so many strong heroes that One Trick needs to decide, hey, which one do I want to hand over to Immortals here and play against?
Now, if you're the side of One Trick, you have seen both what Immortals do well, take their finals from Game 1, what they do not so well, take the finals of Week 2. What sort of winning strategies could One Trick potentially mix up to put the members of Immortals on the back foot?
Yeah, we'll see if One Trick is going to secure a key support like a Teamy. If it's open, if they pick Zenio, they may ban the Teamy actually and just take it off the map, and that's going to force a Zenio ban from the side of One Trick potentially. So they have to pick good side laners, because Bobo and X-Tiers are just so good on heroes. Oh, they actually take Wonder Woman off. Like Omen, Bobo is good on Omen. Max, X-Tiers.
I like it.
Lubu is a huge priority pick for the side of Immortals that does so much work on X-Tiers. So we'll see what side laners are secured, and then I can make a decision on who's gonna win that matchup.
You don't want to do some blind predictions. What's gonna pop up. You're a little disgruntled with 2 incorrect predictions so far today. You don't want to step too far outside the box, do you, Sweet J?
No, that game was close though. If I'm wrong in prediction, I'm happy, because that shows me that the competitive scene has been so much more developed. Every week the teams get better and better. So that for me is exciting, because if I'm wrong, that means I'm underestimating certain teams. They're coming in, they're training, and training is paying off.
What better way than to see the underestimation be turned against you, as teams have been constantly improving and closing the gap. We've talked about it on and off the broadcast. All of these teams giving their best effort to kind of change things up. As the final ban, no big surprise, it's going to be the Zenio, but that leaves quite a few options. Explicitly,
open,
the Teamy.
A lot of good options. Violet's open. There's a lot of strong picks that we see normally banned, but they're open. So let's see if Immortals will go with the Teamy, which Beginnings is amazing on.
Yes. Haven't get to see too much of it.
Yeah, he's really good with Teamy. So let's see how and the way that Immortals wants to pick their bat. But I think they'll probably prioritize the Teamy here.
Teamy gets prioritized. Obviously, Wonder Woman, Zenio, and Max from the side lanes get taken off. What becomes the first priority for a side lane for One Trick, assuming that the Teamy will be that first pick?
Yeah, you have Omen. Since Max has banned, Omen and Lubu are super strong in the side lane. Kilgroth is also open. He's really strong side lane as well. There's a lot of actually pretty solid picks in side lane. Ari, because of all these bans on Wonder Woman, Ryoma, Max. And they're going to first pick the Lubu right off the bat. They want to secure that dominant side laner first. And that leaves Teamy open for the side of One Trick, along with potentially a Kilgroth or an Omen pickup here. So let's see what One Trick is going to pick up. There we go. The Omen comes out with the Teamy here. They have to pick Teamy, or else they're... Ooh, this is really dangerous. 80s heroes will take the Tulin, but they don't need to pick Tulin right now. They can pick Teamy, and they can pick like a Kilgroth side lane, or they can pick ADC side lane, like Joker potentially.
Why not worry though? Or you're right, you can go ahead and hold yourself onto the Tulin because you've got the mid mage being picked up. But however, they want to just go ahead and play safe. They want to know what they have. That creates a...
Yeah, again, they can just take Violet. You don't need to take Tulin. Yeah. There's no reason to take Tulin at this point. I don't agree with the way Morris is drafting right here. Cricknack is picked up. Whoa, Cricknack is picked up here. You have Alice open. So Alice is going to be a really hard counter into the Cricknack with the Kilgroth. So if they pick Alice Kilgroth, that's going to counter their composition pretty hard.
Something of the note that we have to look out for. KZ Fox, his prowess in the jungle. Zelf, his as well. I see that jungle matchup as one of the biggest ones to watch.
Lindis.
However, Lindis
and Kilgroth.
So
that's two strong side laners there. And that leaves not a lot of side lane options available for the side of One Trick. You know, they could try maybe a Scud, Ari. You know, there's not really a lot of strong dominant side laners left. Look at that. All 5 side laners are banned. Superman, Zenio, Max, Ryoma. They're going to do a Zill side lane. That's going to be a very interesting matchup against the Lubu or Kilgroth there, because Zill is actually going to be pretty weak early, but once he reaches level 4, he can then spam his ultimate and do a lot of damage.
Do you then, considering the fact that Zill's early game isn't as powerful as what you might think, you generally are used to seeing the Omen go onto the Slayer side of the map unless you have certain skill matchups that pop up? Would we not be surprised to potentially see Omen come onto the Dragon side of the map?
Yeah, I would put him on
then?
Dragon because he is such a strong dueler. He can hold his own against Lubu and any other side laner, and they need a strong side laner and not to lose Dragon side, because when they lose Dragon pressure, it allows Immortals then to rotate, posture around Dragon, and secure it. So Omen would be a great decision to put at the Slayer, or sorry, Dragon side of the map.
It has been what seemed like a very difficult draft moment, that Tulin pick coming way too early from your analytical standpoint. It seems that they were saved a little bit due to the prioritization that you saw on the side of One Trick. So it was a disaster avoided, as Immortals still walk away with a very solid draft composition.
Yeah, Teamy is so good at ADC. Teamy has that AoE stun, so if they dive on it, Teamy can land that stun, and then if Lindis gets killed, the revive, being a bro, it gets activated, just revives her back up and back into the fight. So this is something that's a little risky for One Trick, but if they can execute their composition, they may have a chance.
There's an option, there's a chance, and we're going to have to see how well that chance plays out. Let's kick ourselves into the first match of our final quarterfinal of the day here for the Valor Series North America. Immortals versus One Trick starts now.
Yeah, look at beginnings, getting straight into the middle, charging up his Pooty Poots, and oh, he does not land it. And look at this aggressive rotation by the side of, wow, 4-man rotation onto this Michael. But look, who's going to get this here? And it's going to be secured by Zelf. And that's huge play here. And 80 Heroes are going to rotate in there. And let's see if they're going to get to turn this around. And looks like they might be able to here.
We wanted to take a look at the jungle matchup. It was Zelf versus KZ Fox. One of the scariest jungle matchups that we've seen thus far in the Valor Series. And already it is Immortals going up 2-0. Zelf, despite the fact that he was able to secure that little piece of victory away.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at this.
Kill. And now Tears is going to be able to secure themselves. They're also able to get a Sage buff, so that's going to be a 3-buff secure. Actually, I stand corrected. It will still be only 2 buffs, as the Might Golem will end up going away. Beg's going to come in and get himself a double knockup on the stun.
He's level 1. He's going to die. Oh my God, he flickers out.
There's not a flicker on the side of any member that's over here. Bruticus is the only one to flicker on the side of One Trick, but instead now it's the re-engage coming out. Tears is able to pick himself up that kill. Zelf might end up going down in the process. Always Green is going to have to be forced to walk away. Tears with the flicker, but all the while, here comes Bruticus. He's going to use the one ability to be able to pick up that kill, but now it doesn't matter because it is all off the marks. Fight after fight, but you still get the 3-buff in favor of Immortals.
Yeah, that's huge, securing 3 buffs. That means they have a nice level advantage. Beginnings there made a huge mistake. You know, he's level 1 and he's trying to go in just to land his Pooty Poots. That's really dangerous for him to go in at level 1 like that into a 3-man unit. But Immortals was able to turn that around still and get an okay trade. But look at the side of One Trick. Their gold advantage is not that bad. Because of the deaths that they gave over, is looking pretty decent right now for One Trick.
I love the knowledge that Beginnings brings to the table with everyone that he plays explicitly with the teamie, as KZ Fox is able to get that last auto attack onto Always Green.
He got that level 4 and used Lunar Champion. Lunar Champion ultimate can be procced 5 times, was able to secure that kill. So very, very well played by KZ Fox securing that kill on Lindis. With Lindis.
5 kills now into the favor of Immortals. It's going to secure themselves just a 700 gold lead. Nothing too crazy, however. That lead is about to get extended as you have only one member on the bottom side of the map. That's going to be Bruticus. He does not have the ability to contest 4 members of Immortals. As Abyssal Dragon is going to go down, Bobo will pick that up. And now the dive's going to happen on down. He's going to be able to pick up that stun. KZ Fox, Bobo, and the rest of the team are going to come down just like that, as quick as it may be. The chains may bind me onto Bobo, but it doesn't matter because the death goes by Bruticus.
Yeah, and look at Zelf. He also is killed as well, and the side lanes are just dominating right now. Dual Spiral, though, get the kill. He has 2 buffs, and I don't know if Beginnings can win this fight here. 80's Hero's got to come in time to help, and look at that heal. He has, does he have ultimate?
Yeah, he ulted on himself, but it doesn't matter because Zelf and the rest of One Trick are able to come up just enough for support and pick up the kill, but all the rather 1.5 thousand gold in the hands of Immortals. And take a look at this top lane. X tiers, 3 minutes, 40 seconds, secures himself their first tower.
Yeah, exactly. This is where you can see the mid part of the map there. Immortals, it's trading back and forth, but where they shine is their side laners, Bobo and X tiers. You gotta pay attention. They normally win most of their side lane, and when they're ahead, it just gives the advantage to Immortals really well. So honestly, even though the damage is coming from KZ Fox and 80's Hero, the real carries of this game, more often than not, are these side laners from Immortals here.
It's the power of rotation and the strength of your own that you have at your disposal. Always Green to get a nice little knockup, but it's not going to matter because the other members of Mortal are to join the fray. As I say that, it is almost on cue that Valor and One Trick started to carry themselves. But look at the knockups! Bobo is having a bounce house, and they're able to pick themselves up those kills. Double into the hands of Bobo. Valiant effort by One Trick, but it's Immortals that walks away, not only with the triple kill, but another tower.
Yeah, you can see that the engage is too soon. Beginnings kind of gets caught out. 80 Heroes puts himself in a really rough spot and just gets deleted in the early game. We see this happen actually a lot with Immortals, actually. He gets caught out in the early game, but the side laners always come in to save the fight in the nick of time. 8 X tiers landed a 4-man knockup, and then Bobo comes in and just slashes everybody once they're knocked up and just deletes the team and turns that favorable fight that One Trick had an advantage into the side of Immortals, and that was a great play by that nice side lane collapse.
Immortals is out for revenge. They want Saturday's finals to be a rematch of the last 2 weeks, and they have to get there through the decimation of their opponents, and that is happening just now. 12-5, 5.5 minutes with a 4,000 gold lead over One Trick. It is tower after tower. Number 4 goes down in favor of Immortals.
Yeah, what a beautiful ultimate by 80's Hero there. He uses Thunderbird as Omen is low, trying to run away. It kills him, resets his passive, gets his 5 Thunderbolts, and now he's like, and look at this. They're just going right onto dual spirals. Oh my goodness, that damage from Bobo. What a monster.
Bloodbath goes the Kilgroth, 5-0-4. He is sitting at almost 5,000 gold at 6 minutes. Sweet J, that is almost 1,000 gold a minute that he's able to kick in onto this game. Almost 7,000 gold in their favor. Only one tower of the inner circle remains, and that's going to be going down immediately. 6 towers to 0 Immortals.
Yeah, this is insane how well they're playing right now. They had honestly a little rough early game, but Immortals is just dominating the map. And this Kilgroth side lane is something that people have to keep an eye on now. I mean, Kilgroth is just so dominant here on the side lane. And One Trick, they need to stop the bleed. They need to stop trying to fight. They need to not get caught out. Immortals will continue to invade them. They gotta play it safe. They gotta get their items, gotta get their level. Because look at, they're level 8 against levels 10 and 11. This is something that they need to be careful with.
Minimum 2 levels down, maximum 3. Maximum 4 actually, is always Green is sitting at level 7 to Bobo and 80's and KZ Fox's level 11. It is now the knock, knock, knock at the door of One Trick, and the Immortals are doing nothing but wanting to blow the house down. The middle tower goes down. That's going to be the high ground doing an immediate deletion of Always Green. You are not Always Green today.
Yeah, he was out of position. That's something Always Green needs to work on. I've been watching a lot of the matches in tournament play, and he's always in a really tough position where he allows the enemy team to poke him. And that's something that he needs to watch out, because as a support and you're behind, you're really squishy because you are level 7. You're 3 to 4 levels below your enemy team, you cannot tank, actually. And you need to be very careful with how you're positioning. And look at this.
Oh, the minions are coming in. I think they want to try to get themselves a couple more kills. We're going to pad the stats. We're going to get ourselves some better KDAs. Always Green and Bruticus are forced into the death timers. And just like that, it's going to be a swift kick in the rear. Immortals coming away with the victory. Every member of Immortals decided, you know what, that last loss last week, we don't want to have to worry about that again, and come out in an obliterating force and destroyed One Trick's Game 1's hopes and dreams. Suijay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I love One Trick's aggression. They're decisive. That was a good invade. It was nothing wrong with it. However, 80s Hero with that rotation down to support his team, getting the kill. I mean, One Trick got the red buff, and I felt like they needed to fight instead of run away. They should have just engaged and tried to do more damage, but instead they're passively running away. They get engaged on 80s Hero, does a nice rotation, and they get those 2 kills early, which is really decisive and good for Immortals.
And just look at those stat lines, 605, 306, all the way down to beginnings 1, 2, and 9. It was a valiant effort at the beginning. Zelf, Bruticus, and the other members of One Trick attempted themselves at an early game of aggression, but the second that it didn't go in their favor, what separates the goods from the greats is being able to take an inch and turning it into a mile, and that's exactly what Immortals was able to do.
Yeah, and honestly, X-Tiers and Bobo, they just played so well. They're winning side lane, collapsing. X-Tiers getting that one knock-up in the river when they actually lost the fight because 80s Hero was killed immediately. They lost the fight. They're down, and he getting that huge knock-up, and then Bobo coming in the right time, and Kilgroth just cleaning house. That fish went in there and ate everybody's lunch.
Fish with a trident, not someone that you want to worry about too much. Game 1, though, is in the books, and now it is going to have to be the members of One Trick trying to find themselves a second trick, because the first one definitely was not in their favor. Immortals take it away, but let's we got ourselves a little bit of a tweet. Beginnings AOV says, why jump ragging on my boy Suijay so much today in the Valor series? We have your back, Suijay. Just say the word, Kappa.
Too funny.
Yeah?
He's beginning to get on you. There we go.
Come on, man. This is why I do that. Beginnings, you wonder why it happens, because I have to deal with comments like that.
There you go. We're having fun up here, so it's all good.
It's awesome. We're gonna.
There you go. Fist bump.
There you go. It's good. It's all fun in games, unless you're short like Suijay, and then it's always games. But all right, let's talk about game number 2. It's gonna be a side swap. Immortals on the red, One Trick on the blue. What changes for One Trick, if there's anything they can change against Immortals?
They have to be careful with their rotations. I mean, they're very decisive, but when they go in, they need to commit hard. I mean, that fight, they had 4-man rotation onto the red. They got the red, so when you get a buff, you fight. Instead, they ran away and got just kited and hit, and I think that it was a mistake. They need to fight to win, not fight to take an objective and run away. Like, that's not how you play objectives. You take objectives and then you fight. So I feel like they just need to play a little more aggressive instead of this passive, scared. They're playing kind of scared.
They're playing not to lose as opposed to trying to win.
Yeah.
It needs to be a little bit of a side swap. Well, they're going to have an opportunity, at least literally speaking, on the battlefield. Them taking up the blue side, they will have the first ban. Now, looking at what was a disaster for them, is there any of the 5 heroes that Immortals played that One Trick needs to be considering taking off the board?
Man, I don't know, man. It's either the Kilgroth or the Lubu.
Do you take the Teamy off, maybe? Because the early pressure the Beginnings had on Teamy was...
Actually, he made a mistake. He actually died twice in the early game and put himself in a really bad position.
But
so Teamy wasn't the reason. It was Lubu and the way that Bobo dominated on Kilgroth. So gotta be a little careful with the side laner. So let's see if they're gonna change up their ban. Superman. Oh, they don't play Superman,
no,
right?
They don't
Last
play
time Bruticus played Superman, he actually lost.
It wasn't a very pretty
It wasn't a hero that he was comfortable on. Savage.
It is.
Savage.
I mean, it happens when you're not comfortable and you don't play it as often. It doesn't necessarily work out.
Yeah,
in
so
your
ban
favor.
it away, which is smart, because if you can't play it,
yeah,
it's a smart ban. And plus, it doesn't really reveal as much information for the side. So I like the Superman ban on the One Trick if you can't play it.
Liliana being taken away, don't have to worry about that. Whether it be One Trick or Immortals, both of their mid laners are quite proficient at that mid lane, little fox lady herself. So she's going to get taken off the table. You have to worry. The Teamy, we thought that it wasn't going to be a factor. It's going to get banned away now. And so things are going to have to change a little bit for the side of Immortals. Zelf on that Crickneck as well. It showed a piece of aggression in the first 60 seconds, and then it seemed like it was essentially irrelevant the whole rest of the game.
Yeah, Crickneck, if he gets snowballed, it's just so hard for him to come back. Zill too, honestly. Zill gets snowballed. He can't really do much because Zill needs his damage item. Zill is a guy that comes in there and bursts the enemy down, but if he doesn't have the damage and he's lower level, really he becomes irrelevant, actually.
It's kind of scary. Max tanking off the board for Immortals. Zenial still left available. You've got a couple mage bans as a possibility. Ryoma. The Crickneck comes away. They don't want to put Crickneck into the hands of KZ Fox.
Yeah, and I feel like they moved on. I mean, don't get me wrong. KZ Fox is a beast on him, but Kilgroth has come out. Kilgroth is actually a good counter into the Crickneck. So banning Crickneck may not be the smartest play. So let's see how the side laners are going to do now. The matchup is side lane, and I feel like one trick is target banning the wrong heroes.
Ryoma, Zenial, two options that you can go for if you're Immortals. Either one, whichever one doesn't get banned, I would quite make a safe assumption is going to be a potential first pick. However, you never know what's going to happen with one trick. They definitely have a couple. We make the joke that they have a couple tricks up their sleeve, but they haven't had the most conventional of drafts in the previous weeks of Valor series.
Exactly, and you know, that's maybe a trick up their sleeve, but they need to get they need to be on the same page.
Yes.
They need to be counter engaging. Always Green needs to watch his positioning. Often than not, when they're behind, he kind of puts himself in a rough spot and everyone just engages on him. So they need to be careful, and then they can't fight. They can't force fights. When you're behind, you do not fight. You want to farm up, get an uneven advantage, whether it's a bush gank or you outnumber the enemy team. That's how you come back. You cannot come back fighting an even fight, and that's what happened. They got their jungle invaded. They lost their towers, and it was just a snowball to... That was too much for the side of one trick to handle.
Now, you want to talk about the potential of handling something. Let's talk about the handling of Zenial. Zenial is left and available. Is there any situation where one trick should not or does not pick this up?
They need to pick Zenial for sure. I mean, he is such a strong side laner, and he can hold his own against the best side laners out there. Kilgroth is also a priority pick as well because of Ryoma being banned. Wonder Woman is also up. So we'll see which team's going to take the Lubu, which team's going to take that Wonder Woman. But there's actually a lot of side lane options. And then L'Oreal and Tulin are just kind of typical mages that work for both sides. So I think what comes down here is, you know, which side laner, again, is going to win the draft.
The scary factor that you have to think about as well, despite the prowess that Zenial shows on the map, if they do pick the Zenial, that could prove for a quick and easy Wonder Woman Omen, something, or even a Omen
is going to be
Lubu.
really good into Zenial.
It's going to be, I'm not going to be surprised at all if one of those two red side picks, assuming that Zenial is picked up by one trick, will, you know, rock over onto the side of the Omen. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep it on, if they keep Wonder Woman and Omen as well. Despite the fact that they don't necessarily have to pick both of theirs, it gives them an option. We're going to find out just that. Zenial, easy prediction.
Lubu is a better pick here because Lubu can knock up the Zenial.
Oh, well, they don't like either one of our predictions. It's going to be.
But I think they're still going to pick Lubu because if Lubu is facing Zenial and Zenial is ulting and challenging out, Lubu can actually just knock him up and cancel that ultimate.
Same thing with Omen. Zenial, if I'm not mistaken, cannot ult out of the Omen ult. Once that gets locked down, the teleport gets canceled as well. So potential
I actually
options.
have not seen it, but they're going to take away the Lubu here. Really smart draft by one trick, denying the Lubu from Xtiered, because honestly, Xtiered just carried so hard on that Lubu. So that's a very smart reactionary pick from the side of one trick there. And now this leaves, you know, Kilgroth open, Alice open. This is a really solid draft from the side of Immortals, and honestly, really good draft from one trick too. And there we go. The Omen's going to come up, and wonder if they're going to play Kilgroth
Alice is going to come out.
AC.
Alice and Omen being picked up by Immortals, eliminating the possibility of, or eliminating the desire of one trick to potentially play any sort of assassins or dive onto it. Tulin's going to be able to be picked up. The safe choice, the special trio of mages on the side of, or for rather, all of the Antares battlefield. Liliana, L'Oreal, and Tulin. Tulin being the third of the triangle.
Heavy magic damage there. And look, they can go to Violet or Lindis here. Violet looks pretty good in this composition. You know, the Lubu and the Zill is going to want to get onto them. Oh, Slims, Kilgroth. Let's see what they pick here. And it's going to be the Violet on KZ Fox. Playing these ADCs now. No more the Kilgroth, the Cricknacks, the Zill jungles that he is known for.
One of the criticisms that we gave Immortals at the end of week 2 was you need to find a way to create versatility in your compositions. Just because you have a winning strategy once doesn't mean that that winning strategy is going to work every time. The teams in the Valor series are too good, they're too experienced, and they're too practiced. And they're just flat out better at understanding a composition once they play it multiple times. So I like this draft by Immortals, making things a little bit different, but still within their aggressive play style that we know they love.
Yeah, and in all my years in esports, the meta always shifts every week. You know, what worked week 1 won't work week 2. What worked week 2 is not going to work week 3. And it's like a circle. It's pretty funny. And in the sense, the meta shifts so much that when week 5 comes around, week 1 meta actually is relevant again. So it's really interesting to see how the draft picks switch with Assassin now to ADC in North America. That's kind of the transition now, and I see that being dominant.
Is there an option with the composition that you see coming out of One Trick that they can dominate this very powerful Alice comp that you see coming out of Immortals?
Yeah, the thing about Alice is she's really good at counter initiating. If Zill or Lubu comes in, she just puts her Hissy Fit ultimate right on top of the Violet. It's going to slow everybody. It's going to allow them to focus down the Zill or the Lubu because it'll silence them. So when they jump in, they can't use any abilities. They have to auto-attack, and that's going to allow Violet to then get away and just do a ton of damage onto whoever's trapped in the Hissy Fit.
Well, you heard it. That's the strategy they need to have. Let's see if it goes in their favor. One Trick is down game number 1 to Immortals. 1 win away are the Immortals from securing themselves a spot in the semifinals. It's the 4th quarterfinal of the day, but action has not stopped just yet. One Trick versus Immortal starts now.
Yeah, they're not going to invade this time. Both teams are going to kind of scale up now and play a little more passive. Valor is going to pull that Might Golem to make sure that it doesn't get rushed. However, he's going to fall behind in the lane farm against Wonder Woman. That's going to allow Wonder Woman to secure the Vision Bird here, which is going to let her get to level 4 a little quicker than the Lubu will.
And so now we're finally going to get to see ourselves an opportunity with the Immortals and the Alice composition. Are they capable of playing that efficiently? Beginnings, we've seen him on the Teamy, we've seen him on the Lumbar, we've seen him on a variety of other individuals that have the success and the support for his team, but now he's playing on something like an Alice, which has a much different play style than the tankier supports that we're used to seeing him play.
Yeah, they gotta be careful. Lubu has Punish there, and they cannot contest the Vision Bird with him having Punish. Wonder Woman has Flicker, so she cannot win against it. And look, he's level 3 now because of that Vision Bird, and that's gonna put Xers a little behind in this side lane matchup. And that's something they need to be careful, because if your side laner opponent has Punish over you, you cannot contest that Vision Bird. There's no way you're going to be able to get it, because Punish is going to win and secure that last hit every single time. But look at the poke from KZ Fox there. A very nice aggressive rotation. He has the red buff. He has the blue buff. Once you get both, you want to then make a play. It's exactly what he did, and they're going to take the Spirit Sentinel right here.
Oh, a little bit of a cheeky play coming out of there by Beginnings. Not sure if anyone is chasing him, but indeed people are chasing him, as Zelf is going to get lots of damage. It's going to be just enough to get the slow. He's going to throw out the swords. They're going to do a nice little spin, trick shot back, and he's going to be able to pick up that kill on the Beginnings.
Yeah, very nice rotation there by One Trick. That's a solid 3 to 4 man rotation that we see a lot of high tier teams play. So I really like what One Trick is doing here. They're doing a really good job, and as a result of getting that kill, they're going to rush the Abyssal Dragon and take it here. And that's going to put them at a okay lead so far. And now what they need to do is continue to win the objective game, invade again, and continue to snowball and starve Immortals.
The starving of Immortals is a potential option. However, Immortals' aggression is definitely providing their value. Level 4s are available, which means the ultimate is coming in. Bruticus has a nice little effort to get in there, but Dual Spirals will still find himself down. He's going to go down. KZ Fox being able to pick up the kill. IMT, Hades Hero, as well as Bobo are finding themselves low, but Hades Hero going to get just enough. Beginnings is turning into and channeling his inner Bay, as he is doing everything he can to support the team. 2 kills in favor of Immortals.
Yeah, that was such a nice endure by 80s Hero. He did miss the skill shot, the wheel, though. He actually hit it up instead of hitting it down towards the Zill, which when you hit that, it actually slows your opponent down. It allows you to get out. He barely survived with his slivered health, but KZ Fox was able to rotate just in time to save him and secure that kill there. And now it gives them actually a good lead there. I don't know about that ultimate from Dual Spirals there. You want to use the ultimate when they're low. Now is a better time to use it because it does 30% of your enemy's lost health.
I think it was more of just a disengage. Get him away, you know, kind of a deterrent across the board. But meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Bruticus is not finding his best efforts in the arena. No one is entertained at this stage in time as his tower is finding himself quite low indeed. Bobo, however, just as I say that, it might be the tower that's the struggle, but he is going to force Bobo to go back. A little bit of health. He's got himself a nice little piece of regen, but it's not going to be enough as the early game pressure of Zenio is definitely doing quite a number on Bobo's Omen.
Yeah, it definitely is. Now look at that. They're posturing around. The thing is, Bobo is low here, so Spirit Sentinel is at risk as an objective because now the side of One Trick can get that. And it looks like Spirit Sentinel has been taken. Dragon is going to be in play here in 4 seconds, and the team is going to start rotating to Dragon because that's an important objective they cannot hand over to either side of the team, and they're going to try to contest it here.
Rotations by Immortals have been a little bit delayed over onto this Dragon, something that we're not used to them seeing thus far. One Trick in the meanwhile, they're going to take the active proactivity. Abyssal Dragon is really low. Everybody's going to go in. Zelf, however, will secure the victory, but he's going to lose his life in the process. As we see Dual Spirals going down, 3 members, 4 members. This Bruticus going to be number 5. Could be quite an option as X-Tiers and the rest of them are there.
God.
The clean ace at pre-5 minutes. They secured themselves the Dragon, but the power and the strength of the Immortals team fight and the triple kill by KZ Fox secures the ace.
Yeah, they get the ace. They lose the Dragon, but that's fine. Getting an ace is so much more work because now you're going to get 2 towers, the bottom and the top. This opens up Slayer and Dragon side of the map, and that's going to give Immortals so much more map control and pressure against One Trick. That was a crazy play there to punish them for trying to take the Dragon without any advantage.
Sage Golem is going to be contested a little bit by Immortals, but with 4 members on the top side of the map, One Trick will be able to secure that back successfully. 5.5 minutes, 2,000 gold in favor of Immortals. They are rolling in their own right. 80's Hero is going to have to be forced to use that Endure, but it's going to be just enough of a cooldown for him to be able to pop through. Shut down Zelf onto KZ Fox. You might have yourself 5 kills, but now that's going to be a 1 in the death counter.
Yeah, that was a huge kill by Zelf here. He's getting pretty fed there. 3.2k. He's not that far behind the Violet here. And if he continues to farm up, Zil is going to be a great assassin to get onto the Violet and do a lot of damage onto them.
Meanwhile, you've got some wave clears going in the bottom side of the map. It is the Zenio finally joining the fight, though. A solid little effort. Zelf is going to go very low, but 80's Hero will be able to pick up that kill as the fighting. Bruticus is on the back line, but Bobo is joining the fray. 4v5 as you had Vare in the bottom side of the map. 80's Hero should be able to turn always green into always gray as the gray screen turns into his abilities. And just like that, it's going to be another victory in the stage of Immortals, but Dual Spirals. A nice little revive kill. So, despite the back and forth, they lost 3 lives, but the members of One Trick gained themselves a turret.
Yeah, that's not bad there. However, 80's Hero had a great smite there in the middle of the entire fight, hitting a lot of AoE damage, slowing down the enemy team to then have his teammates kill the team. So really good engage there. However, X-Tiers is kind of out of position here. He's putting himself in a really bad spot, and that he might get caught up, but he doesn't.
Zelf misses the skill shot.
Wow.
It was just in range, but he predicted the right, predicted the left. He zigged when he should have zagged. As 80's Hero goes ultimate now. 4, 1, and 8. 100% kill participation. Bruticus is going to be taking a lot of damage, but he's going to jump and fly away. The Immaculate not being very immaculate right now as the members of Immortals are showing so much pressure. 2 towers in the top lane have already been taken down at 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, and look at the damage there. I mean, 80's Hero is level 10. He engaged so hard and got these secured these kills, which is really great. He actually didn't have Smite out. He actually used Smite back. And then always been, again, in a really tough position. He's got to watch how he's positioning because constantly the team is catching him out, and as a result, it's going to put a lot more map pressure against his mid lane here.
He's level 8, much lower than every other member in the game thus far. Trying to create support for his team, but doesn't have the stats or the ability. Zelf is going to be able to get caught out. A nice little lasso there by X-Tier. Or sorry, it was the Bobo Omen, but it doesn't matter. A little bit of extra damage. Look at the power that 80's Hero is pulling out. Bruticus, the main frontliner, goes down for the count. Nothing One Trick can do. They're going to disengage. They're not going to go for the high ground turret. It's going to be a safe retreat back to the Dragon.
Yeah, notice there he was using the iframes, or invincibility frames, what you call it. When L'Oreal blinks, she can actually dodge the turret shots. And that's exactly what 80's Hero did. He went in so hard, had a great smite on the side of the turret there, and just did so much work just killing the Zenio. And this is why L'Oreal is so good into tanky warriors like Zenio. it doesn't matter if you're tanky, she does that true damage on her ability, and she has a lot of peers. So this is why L'Oreal, it just counters these tanky compositions really well along with the ADC.
So now with 10 kills ahead as well as 5,000 extra gold in their pocket, Immortals are sitting healthy, counting the coins on their desks at home later, because the advantages that they're creating have been plenty of the mark as they're now trying to get themselves a rotating down. It is, you got open high ground turrets in the top as well as the mid. Oh no, he catches himself between the down turret and the members of Immortals.
Man, look at that, Zenio. Tried to save him, but it's not going to do much. And the Omen ultimate came up, trapped him, and they secure the kill.
Dual Spirals goes down as well to KZ Fox. It's not the most valiant of efforts that he has created in the mid lane for this game. What seemed like a powerful...
He can poke the turret. What is KZ? There we go.
You have an extra range on that roll, buddy. It's something to be astounded of. As the first high ground turret goes down in favor of the Immortals, 6 towers to 1, 6,500, just 6,000 gold at the 10-minute mark. It's been a little bit of a slower start for the Immortals, but they have certainly been rolling in the kill feeds.
Yeah, they gotta watch out. Again, Omen is so critical. They got to watch out the way that Omen is using that ultimate. He is just setting up so many plays, and they gotta be very careful with how Bobo is playing there, because when Omen traps someone off guard like that and locks them into that Death's Embrace, they're stuck for a good 5 seconds. So really good job by Bobo there.
Bobo with a valiant effort to continue to help his team is on that Omen, regardless of the fact that he only has 7 out of 16 kill participation. It's when he showed up in these fights to create the power. Zelf is going to try to use that ult to use those invincibility frames to help him out, but it's not going to matter as he's going to get sent to the grave. Bruticus as well, you are not going to be a gladiator today, my friend. Find yourself in the death. Always Green is being forced to back away. 5 members of Immortals are still alive. The next minion wave is coming down the mid lane, and it looks like that's going to be the next high ground turret in their favor.
Yeah, this is huge. Now their super minions are going to spawn in the middle and top lane. And look at this. The Lord ultimate is up there. She's in her smite, and look at the amount of damage that they're doing. Wonder Woman secures the kill. Very well played by the side of Immortals here, and that's going to be GG.
Dual Spiral's the only one left remaining, but it doesn't matter because the core will explode.